Vested. It's vested. Here we are on a Thursday. We're here. We're inspiring today. I think we'll throw a little creation in there. Power bit.
Coach D, what's up, baby?
Jei'mar, here we are again, man. What's this like? 16 in a row? That's cool, man. So far, so good. We're making it happen.
Man, I'm grateful.
I am too. Here we are online and such.
What's on your heart right now? At this specific moment in time, what's on your heart?
Honestly, gratitude. This has been pushing me to be a better me, this show, and to be able to come up with ideas and topics and to show up every time, and to, regardless of what mental or emotional state that I'm in, to be able to give my best to a computer in my room. It's weird. It's like we turn it into a studio, and all of a sudden there's this thing that we're throwing out into the universe, and it seems significant. And the reason why, Jei'mar, is I think because we're making it significant. And I think that's it's a good place for us to start today, because I think our topic is, I don't say it's a hot topic, but you could definitely, heat up a pot of water with it, because it's relevant right now. It's relevant. What we're going through is part of human nature. So what are you going through, Jei'mar? What are you going through with all this wormness?
Man, what I realized here, this last week here, I've had some thoughts, right? That were not thoughts that were serving me. And I had to really protect my boundary, really protect my mind. And it had nothing to do with external anything. It was just my own self-dialogue, thoughts that were of fear that were trying to creep in. But here's the challenge, Coach D. If we don't recognize those thoughts of fear, they'll grab root, and then all of a sudden there'll be a forest of fear. And the fear will compound so fast. And I say this humbly and boldly, I feel that I'm one of the strongest warriors out there because of the faith component. And if I'm being attacked, what's happening to people out there who are not as equipped? So that was my thought process this week. I was like, man, I got to be even super more high alert. But I was so aware of the thought that I was able to pull out the sniper rifle and just like and shoot them out of there. But they were trying to come, man. And it was just thoughts and that were coming. So I'm human. I'm not a robot, bro. I get negative thoughts too. So I'm sharing this that, people out there who may not be as equipped yet is the key word, equipped yet. Man, we got, as people, as the vested community, as the world, we got to be so high alert right now with our mental toughness, with our mental health, with our thought process. Like it is so crucial right now that we laser focus and be hyper aware of what's happening right here, right now. So that's on my mind, bro.
Jei'mar, you know what? I use the map, mindfulness, awareness, and purpose. And it sounds to me like you're extraordinary. It's really important to be that way. In being mindful, and you just pointed it out, and you're always in such a good flow of acceptance and awareness. When you move to the second step, once you start to isolate your thoughts and you start to recognize that there's a bunch of them, and they're not all the greatest, and they don't all make you feel awesome. So when you're being mindful about this attack or just this energetic overload that you might be experiencing, it might be your own energy, it might be someone else's energy. The awareness sometimes will bring to light a lot of discomfort, because what you're seeing or what you're feeling or what's coming at you isn't necessarily what either you desire or that you're comfortable in the moment having to, find peace with. Because sometimes discomfort is just there and you have to deal with it. Like you said, Jei'mar, you have your faith and you lean on that. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you don't go through stuff. It doesn't mean that you don't have thoughts that challenge you all the time. We're all human, right? We're all exposed to the same type of thing. And the energetic vibration of what's going on right now in the United States, and with people's opinions and with the fear that is radiating through pretty much every moment of every day, whether you are creating it or generating it or just trying to avoid it, it's you have to access that it's there. So what I try to, I don't know, in this is practice of being a belief strategist that I'm working into as my purpose. I try to share with people that, the process of patience as all this starts to unfold could very well be the most important thing that we work on. Because when you start to become aware of some of these things, Jei'mar, like you said, you have your faith that you lean on, but it doesn't mean that you don't go through stuff. It doesn't mean that you don't feel things. So, we're doing that. And I don't know if everybody's, that's paying attention or that will listen to this later is noticing the eggshell that Jei'mar and I are refusing to walk on. Because what's gone on in this last week and this last couple of months and with the sickness and with the, everything else, it's there. It's part of the happiness soup. And Jei'mar, you and I have chosen to push forward with this surrender and with this abundant feeling. And when doing that, we can't just be blind and ignore the idea that there's a lot going on right now that is kind of hot. And whether we want to or not, we have to accept the idea that it's there and we have to move through it together. So look, can you move us into our topic today, Jei'mar? Because together is our aim, but at the same time, we have a little bit of a division in terms of two different thoughts or mentalities. So kick us off a little bit, man.
Man, the two words I like that you said, energetic vibration.
Ooh, that's what it is. That's what it all is, man. I mean, we can get down to quantum physics, but that's like 3 podcasts or
pull out the calculator.
Yeah. Well, look, there are a lot of people in the world that view it from really cool, different perspectives. And when it comes down to energy, that's really all it is. And people will explain it from their standpoint, viewpoint, sitting point. And, we got to throw it into the pot, make it work.
Well, here we go. What's the message today, bro?
There it is. Tech team dropping it in unity versus division. Talk to us a little bit, Jei'mar, because this was very organic for you. It just came out of nowhere. You're like, we're trying to figure out, we had all these interviews, we bring in people on and had a lot of fun with that. And thanks to Carson, thanks to our $1 million painter, thanks to Aaron, thanks to Christian Asoy. Look, we kind of went back to where we started here, Jei'mar, and I think that it's important we tell everybody why. Why we're going to talk about unity versus division today, and why did we choose not to have a guest?
Today we wanted to really touch on the power, the concept of unity versus division in general terms. And you think about whether it's unified in the household, unified in your workplace, unified in your company, unified with your relationships, your associations, versus division in the household, division in the workplace, division among your associates, your friends, and those two, the contrast, and we always talk about light and dark here, right, Coach D? You think about unity would be the light and division is the darkness. And that way, there can't be dark without light. We always talk about that too, right? There can't be a sunrise, right? If the moon wasn't present before. So it goes together, but right now I think more than ever that us as people, as vested community, as the vested viewers, as the world out there watching, that as leaders, we must do our best to speak unity, to speak unification, to speak oneness despite our differences in views, despite what our beliefs are. How do we still stay unified? And it takes leaders to unify the people when the people have different perspectives, different views, different beliefs, different opinions. So when we can still bring the people together and unify them, man, that's true power. Because it doesn't take a whole lot to create division, but once division is started, man, it's a challenge to repair. So today we're just embarking on the concept of unity and division, man, bringing that to light of what we must do as people and the power we have to unify and the power that we have to divide, because we have the power to do both. So where are we putting our energy? Are we putting our energy in unification, or are we putting our energy in creating more division? So with that note, Coach D, I mean, let's go into the definition of what is unity.
let's start off with that. Let's tech team, if you drop that in for us.
Yeah, let's just keep it simple.
We want to get real specific here. So of the definition that we lost because we have no internet. Here we go. So anyway, it's there.
The quality of state of being one.
It is oneness. That's what unity is. Where, you hear in the East, and then you got people meditating nowadays and oming it and this and that. Jei'mar, we have multiple parties, right? But the party, man, is all of us. We're all involved in the party. And whether you have an opinion on one side of the party or on the other side of the party, we're all in it together.
Right.
And I can understand people getting frustrated or upset or fearful or excited or XYZ about whether their opinion is itched or not. But at the same time, I think we really need to continue to stay positive as we're divided. It's important to understand that, to have freedom is to be able to have your own perspective and for you to honor others as well. Because if we're just going to fight all the time, man, what kind of freedom is that? So, you know what, Jei'mar? I mean, with the whole definition readout thing, I'm gonna let you do division. Maybe do a little bit better than that.
No, you did great. So
you look at read it, especially when it freaking just disappears, man, and then we read it. How crazy! Y'all should know this.
We're here to remember. We're here to be permanent, not perfect, right? Who wants to be perfect? Baby. Come on,
flexible bends.
Boom. Now look at the definition of division, like the act or process of dividing, the state of being divided, the act, process, or an instance of disturbing among a number, distributing among a number. But look at the very beginning. Go back real quick, tech team. Just look at the first one. The act and process of dividing. The act and process of dividing. Now, when we look at the state of being divided, now let's try to spin it in the most positive way, Coach D. What comes to your mind? What comes to your mind that could be a positive viewpoint of just being divided? Like whether it's a team. Like think about the Lakers, right? Man, high five to the Lakers. King James, man, that's one of the greatest athletes on the planet, right? Coming in there, just what he's done in his career. But do you think the Lakers could have won the championship in a year one of the other greatest athletes ever, Kobe, transitions to heaven, in the year that we have a global pandemic, in the year that they got to play in the bubble, in the year they can't even see family, in the year they got all this external stuff? Do you think they could have won the championship if they were divided?
Not in that locker room. Not in that locker room.
No.
So the positivity that could come from division is what comes from it or out of it. Because all of the things that you just rifled off, sir.
That's so good.
Every one of those things, they found a way to endure, to be able to come together as a team and to be able to conquer that. So the unity in division is the idea that it's needed, that it's part of balance, that we start to reach out and recognize the idea that things are the way they are, man. And we can either resist them with everything that we have, or we can accept to come together with the resources that are in front of us, and we can make the best of it and make it work. And I'm pretty sure, Jei'mar, that they didn't sit around complaining a bunch. I'm pretty sure that when they were at practice, they were very focused. But I'm also pretty sure that they ran into some obstacles. Even in all the things that you just rifled off, and those are the broad ones that probably end up in the news and so on and so forth. But like, what about the interpersonal relationships with family and their worry about this very real undecisiveness that's going on? Let's call
it, bro. Say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean it.
You can't really get behind something that you don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
So no, I hear you, man.
But that shakiness, man, is I think what's put a serious. I don't know, man.
Hey, let's get the elephant out of the room. You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, we're in an emotionally charged political climate right now. We got shadiness going on all across the states. We don't know who's right. We don't know who's wrong. He said, she said. They point. They're wrong. He's wrong. They're wrong. They're cheating. He's cheating. That's not right. He's lying. They're lying.
Thanks, dude. All right. Now we can do it. It's like bubbling, dude. It's bubbling, man. It's bubbling. All right, damn it. Red, blue, and just everyone's, oh, that rabbit out. Oh, my God.
Man, like, come on. Can we get a timeout?
Yes. Okay, everybody. You are the CEO of your own mind, okay? You are the one in charge of your own thoughts, which means that you are the one in charge of your own emotions, which means that you are in charge of your own happiness or lack thereof. So let's not be frustrated if we're frustrated. Let's not be angry if we're angry. Let's just realize that's a very real emotion, access that it is what it is, and let's learn from it. Let's let it go and move on to something better, man. You know, I'm just saying. So look, Jei'mar, we're going to take these two definitions and let's just start doing it right now, because we kind of kicked out what it is that they mean to us. We got the elephant in the room done. Now let's figure out how to inspire. Okay, tag team, we drop down. Bam.
Bam.
There it is. How we can inspire. Let's start with division. Okay, because we were talking about it already. What is inspirational, Jei'mar, about all this nonsense, dude? That there's so much going on. I don't remember a time like this ever. I remember when I was young, you respected other people's opinions. When you were debating, you would say something and then you would think, and then you would listen to the other person. You would respect their opportunity, and then you would reply. Talk to me about the division and the inspiration that we can gather from what we're experiencing currently.
Well, you think about it right now, Coach D. There's so many variables that are in play right now. And I truly believe that the emotional climate that we're in, just from this global revolution that we're having right now, the COVID reflection, what the COVID reflection has done to people in general when it comes to energy, the tension that it's created. I truly believe that it has brought things to a point where they're very, very sensitive when it comes to emotional, when it comes to mental, when it comes to, and we already know the physical challenges out there. And then you add that on to a very, very, very emotional political climate in a very important election year. And we have all these shifts that are happening. Then you add on the social injustice that we've had, right? Then you add on all these people that were out of work, furloughed, laid off, let go, transitioned. And so then I think there's so much energy that's been bottled up, right? That any release is going to be explosive, and it doesn't have to be a positive release. And so now I think that what's happening out there is that they're finding anything they can to grab onto to release this energy. And the energy that's being released is not, you said electrical vibration, right? The energy that's being released is not always that positive. And so as people right now, what we have to I really like what you said about the awareness, the positive side of the vision. If we are aware of it, is recognizing the damage that it can cause, the interruption that it can cause, the confusion that it can cause, the fear that it can cause, the animosity that it can cause, right? I think that, like, you hit it right on the head, Coach D. I think the most powerful, positive perspective of division is being aware of the wake, W-A-K-E, that division causes.
Look, man, yes. And in a way, to be able to look at the muck and call it what it is, and to be able to accept it as something that you can learn from. there's just so many different opportunities when you look at all of the stuff that's been exposed. I mean, when life gets going fast, which American culture does, and we like to produce and we like to make more and it's bigger and faster. And how many iPhones are there going to be, man? Like, damn, they're just computer screens. But we need more, and we need it to be faster. When something like this happens, which is globally unique in human history, we get this really intense opportunity to have all of this stuff exposed. Yeah. It's like, I look at it like, okay, when a tidal wave comes, it just washes up all of this stuff that was in the ocean that probably shouldn't have been there. And then there's all the stuff that should have been there. But then when the waters reside, all the stuff's left and there's just a mess. But it's better that it happened so that you can regroup and access what it is that you're currently dealing with. And fear is face everything and rise. So
transcend, baby, transcend, baby.
Everything and rise. So I think that the acceptance part of this awareness that we're going through is rough because there's been a deception, and we all want to point fingers. We all want to look and say, this 1% or my county or my government or my blah. And you know what, man? We're all becoming very aware of some things that are going on inside of us that are extraordinarily uncomfortable. And if we can be patient with ourselves as we work through this, then we can use this discomfort to be able to help us navigate to a place where we want to be. I always use the analogy that, look, man, if you eat something bad and it goes into your stomach, you better throw it up or poop it out, because if you don't, it's going to create a real problem. And that's where we're at right now. Red or blue, throw it up or poop it out, man. One way or another, someone's going to get elected and life is going to go on. Okay. And I think it's best if we just honor and respect everyone's opinion, whether it's a good one or a bad one, because what is a good opinion or a bad opinion? So can we move on a little bit? I like this whole show. Let's move on to the unity, dude, because I'd rather talk about the answer of moving forward and how good it feels. So we're going to learn from the division, but at the same time, Jei'mar, let's talk about how excited we can be about the unification that's coming out of this.
Man, unity is a unity. Unity means agreement. And if we want to take this to the supernatural level, we always got to go there, right, Coach? Yeah. Agreement is the most powerful place to be. Agreement is the most powerful place to be. When you think about you and your amazing, beautiful wife, Rebecca, when you guys are in agreement with anything, how powerful of a place is that?
It's why you would want to share a life with someone else, so that you could experience a type of communion with the other person that is almost beyond what you could do on your own. So that's why you would even get into a type of relationship, really, with anybody, with a workforce, with a friend, with a significant other, but yeah, very significantly with a significant other, because you transcend yourself by taking two energies and creating a third by the unification of the one. Yeah, something like that, you know?
Come on, man, you getting all philosophical on us, right?
Hey, bro, you told me to dive deep, man.
Were you doing some virtual yoga before we took the start of the show today? What were you doing, man?
Okay, next, obviously, where we go with our show. This is good, and I'm feeling this, Jei'mar. So I'm going to push this over to you, but first, we're going to drop down the banner. How do we create unity from this very spot where we sit right now?
Man,
do it, Jei'mar. You're up. Go.
That right there is the question. And to create unity, it takes maturity. Right? It takes maturity in our spirit, in our mind, in our heart to create unity, man. Because
what about gratitude? What about forgiveness? What about forgiveness?
Gratitude, forgiveness, absolutely. But here's the thing. If you're grateful of all this stuff, but you're not mature enough to understand that people are entitled to have free will. See, that's what God gave us all. He gave us all the choice to have free will. So you look at the most perfect person on the planet, in my opinion, who's ever walked God in the flesh, Jesus, right? Our brother Jesus came, and he came for that those who believe in him will have eternal life forever. He's perfect, flawless. And you think about it, that he was still hated. people still try to create division because of him. And if the most perfect being on the planet is going to be hated, naysayed, lied on, what's going to happen to other people? Right. And you look at what he did. His mission as a servant transformational leader was to create unity among the people, despite their background, despite what they were doing, despite anything, where they came from, where they were born. He was focused on unity. And so I think us as leaders, if we all want to be, here's a question. Vested community, do you want to be a servant transformational leader? See, leadership is not about tell people what to do. Leadership is bringing the people together. Leadership is getting the team to rally towards a goal. You think LeBron's not a leader? Come on. Right?
Well,
like, how do you?
I think in being mindful, because this is kind of where we started, in choosing to approach your thoughts with the intent of being grateful, choosing to approach your thoughts in a manner that is going to expose everything, not just the thoughts that you enjoy, not just the thoughts that you'd like to focus on, but at all. You got to be able to look at all of it. Then you're going to move towards this acceptance process and you'll develop this maturity. So I think that in choosing to do it, as you're mentioning right now, in establishing this want or this need to participate in it, I think that's where we can begin in this moment. Because I don't know about you, man, but I don't feel this I don't know, this emptiness or this tension when it comes to what's going on in the world today, because I see a lot of opportunity, and I know you do too. Mm-hmm. So how are we just spoke about it. What we're going to do is we're going to be able to apply our mindfulness maybe to being able to accept the idea that we can participate in this incredible opportunity. So in terms of, okay, now that we've done that, because I almost feel like it's easy to apply the unity to something like that, Jei'mar, but please apply the same thought mindset or principles towards how we're going to create with this division. How are we going to use something that normally we look at in a way that our life and our culture has told us that this type of conflict is what you avoid. This is the winner and this is the loser. How are we going to create with this tension feeling that we're dealing with right now? How would your boy Jesus do it? Let's start there.
Man, that's a great question, Coach D. You look at the time we're in right now. Everyone is in an unknown climate, an unknown environment. There's no data. There's nothing that we can call on from the past to say, oh, remember when this happened? Everything that's happening right now at one time is a very unique combination of events that we are all experiencing, and we're all seeing it differently. But as the unification comes, I believe in being a peaceful warrior. You can have a warrior spirit and still be peaceful. Just because you have a warrior spirit doesn't mean you're over there beating people up. The warrior spirit is who you are internally. But we also must be peaceful, right? Peaceful warriors. And I think more than anything, and I want to challenge our vested community, is what are you doing right now to communicate unification among your family, in your household, your children, your workplace, your business, your friends, your peers? What are you doing, vested community, to be that light, to be that beacon where people are looking at you like, you're the one that's bringing the people together. You're the one saying, hey, like, we got to be peaceful. Yes, we can have our beliefs. Yes, we can stand. Yes, that may not be right. Yes, they may have taken advantage of this. Yes, that might be false. Yes, that might be an accusation that's not truthful. But how do we still keep the peace? And I think that takes every single one of us, Coach D. There's no one person that can do that. It takes all of us. It's a team effort for us to have that spirit of unity. And it starts in the home. If the home there's not peace and unity in the home, how are we going to have peace and unity anywhere else?
Oh, hold on, Jei'mar. I got to go deeper. Okay, you're right. Hold up. You're right. It starts in the home.
I'm stopping. Back up.
Homie, it starts in this home.
Okay? Oh, boom. Come on, baby.
It starts in this home.
Oh,
Okay?
why you getting all spiritual on us, G? Why you getting all spiritual?
No. I'm going Bruce Lee. I'm going Christian and Soy. If you guys are paying attention last week, man, we threw the Bruce Lee quote up. We threw the Bruce Lee.
Flow like water. Flow like water.
Amen. And another one, one of my favorite Bruce Lee quotes is, "You must fill your cup up in totality to be able to have it filled up in." I'm totally botching it. And you must fill it up in entirety to experience life in totality. And obviously that's still a botch job, but the bottom line is that you got to empty out all the crap, man, because if you keep filling the cup up and you only empty out all the crap, then you're just going to have more crap in your next cup of whatever you fill it up with. So, and I also learned too, Jei'mar, that's really hard to give yourself to other people when your cup's empty. So if we're angry, if we're frustrated, if we're really down and out on where we're at, and we just can't seem to have a positive attitude about anything, then you know what? Fill your own damn cup up, and definitely make sure you empty it out before you go to the well. Because if you do that, you can share it with other people. But it'd be really nice if everybody would try to share some of the prosperity and excitement about what it's going to feel like when we succeed moving forward. Because this other nonsense, it's got to go. This old way, it's got to go. There's part of me that looks at this COVID reflection, and I'm grateful for that. I look at the division of where we're at with politics and religion and even one another, and I say, good. This is going to expose a lot of that crap. And once it's exposed, we can look at it, see it for what it is, and recognize that we don't want that anymore. Because I don't want it anymore, dude. I want to love. I want to move forward. I want to make things happen. I want to get excited, man. My brother told me when we were, probably a couple of years ago, he says, the thing that sucks about being an adult is there's no feeling of the home run and touchdown. Unless, you're a rock star or, whatever, XYZ. But even them, man, like you find these people that are committing suicide and stuff because they're not happy when they have everything. So that sucks, man. Where's Steve Jobs around? Dude, the guy changed the world and he suffered, dude, because, we just, the I am we are has got to be more present. So Jei'mar, as we move on to the empower of what we're going to do for the next section. All right, here it is. Thanks, girl. So one more time. I botched it 2 or 3 times, but boy, Bruce. I gotta see. I'll read this quote. I'm gonna do it with as much enthusiasm as you did the last one. All right, I'll put it back up. Watch this. I'm gonna be like James Earl Jones. Watch this. Put it up. Come on. How do we lose it? Pass ball. All right. Empty your cup so that it may be filled. Become devoid to gain totality. That's what I got, man. I love it. That was better. Good. Shorter. That's so good. All right. So the next section, Jei'mar, yes, tech team is on, baby. Woo! She ready to power, baby. Let's do it.
Vested ice, baby. Vested ice.
Yeah, that's it. Ice it. We're gonna ice it, and it's gonna happen right now. So anyway, Jei'mar, I poked around on the internet to try to find some videos to be able to support our little installation here. And believe it or not, it was very tough to find videos on unity. So then I started looking for oneness or togetherness. And it's like, you could watch an 1.5-hour documentary on it if you want, but to just get a nice little poke of what it is, like, I was really surprised, man. I was like, you could find anything else. You could find Sinister stuff. And it's like, boom, 2-minute documentary, little cartoons and everything. But unity, oneness, that it was a tough find. Maybe that's it, Jei'mar. Maybe we're so stuck in division that we're busy looking at cat videos. I don't know, but let's give it a look, Jei'mar. Let's take a look at this video.
My daughter sent me a picture today of a cat. She took a picture. We always talk about posture, so she took a picture of her YouTube video as a cat standing straight up. She's like, "Daddy, look, the cat has good posture." Yes, so you said cat videos. He made me.
They were. Listen, there's a reason why they're so popular, man. Like, you cannot deny it that when you look at like any animal, like case it or do something funny, it's just hilarious. It's like jackass of animals. But all right, girl, roll the tape and let's talk about this once it's over.
When we're laying on our deathbed, you're not going to worry about how much money you had, how much power you had, how much prestige. You're going to see that was all game, that was all an illusion. The only thing that's going to matter is the impact you had on other people's lives.
We are all on a separate journey. But the beautiful thing about our life here on this earth is at my funeral, they ain't gonna talk about my success. They're gonna talk about who Nick was and how Nick lived and how Nick loved and encouraged.
Success is incredibly important, but even more important than success, it's having an impact. It's knowing you haven't walked the planet in vain. It's knowing that because you've been here, you've blessed lives, you've developed people, and you have made the world a better place.
The effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart, and all that will be left of you is what was in your heart.
Life is a mirror. And life gives us not what we want. Life gives us who we are. When you were born, you cried while the world rejoiced. Live your life in such a way that when you die, the world cries while you rejoice.
Man, bro, that's powerful.
Man, unity is what we all want, dude. It's when you struggle, when you lack, when you hurt, it's because you don't have that together feeling. It's because you feel alone. It's because you want more and you don't feel it. Man, together we can feel it. Even in your lowest time, man, even in your lowest time, to have one person there to experience it with you, to have a nurse, to have a friend, to have a brother, to have a stranger just there with you, it just makes it a little bit better. And I think we get going so fast, bro, that we forget that. Mm-hmm. And our opinions seem to matter more than other people. And it's like, dude, we can do so much better. Better way, Jei'mar. Like, you want to feel good. You want to be happy. You want to expand on your best thoughts. And you want to be a little kid. You want to feel vulnerable. You want to just let go. And it's really hard when everybody's so harsh and sharp and opinionated and kind of cold.
Yo, we still rolling. Hey, Vested community. Coach D was talking about us, right? This is the time right now where we must unify. We must do our best to keep the peace. We must be impact players. And here's the question for you, Vested community. What kind of impact player do you want to be right now? Do you want to be someone who's impacting and adding to the division? Or do you want to be someone who's impacting and creating unity? And so that's what I want to challenge you. I want to challenge all of us. I want to challenge myself that we got to be better, right? That we got to rise higher. See, in this time we live in right now, this is the land where leaders, servant transformational leaders, this is where we rise. Whether it starts in the home, with our children, in our communities, our businesses, our teams. This is where we must lead from the front. And if we're the ones, if we look at self in the mirror, like Coach D was talking about, what's going on in here? What's going on in here in the heart? If we don't get this in order, how are we going to go out there and be impact players for unity, unification? So, Coach D, I'm glad you came back, man.
I think that was our most gangster technical breakdown so far.
you know, and we just keep on rolling.
Man, I'm so glad you do. It's like you just pick up, bam. I think we're gonna have it wired to our room, so this won't happen anymore. But honestly, it don't matter. So we're good at it at this point. We're good at it.
One day studio, one day studio, one day studio.
Hey, listen, that's beautiful, Jei'mar. I can get behind all of those thoughts, all of those feelings, and all of those emotions. But you know what? Here we are right now, today, and we just gangstered it, baby. Listen, this is what I'm getting at. I had an epiphany a little bit ago that I always thought that I would just be jogging down the street and that's how it'd go. I really believe that's still going to happen. I really do. Yep. I believe technology's there. My will is strong. I believe that it's going to happen.
I'm in agreement.
Hold up.
I'm in agreement.
But now that we've confirmed that the miracle is definitely a possibility and we're on trying to accomplish it, we're going to have to win the championship here in these busted ass cleats. And I'm okay with that. We will buy new cleats when we win, Jei'mar. But right now, right here today, we are not in a studio. We are in our room, and this is where it all starts, okay? Talk about that one girl, Billie Eilish, okay, and her brother. It all started in their room on a bed. They produced an entire album that is worldwide. They're bigger. They're like Michael Jackson right now. They're humongous, and it all started in their room on the bed because they believed in themselves. Mm-hmm. And listen, I believe in the unity.
Hey, they were unified, bro. They were unified.
Yeah. Well, they were. Come on. In a time where everything was divided. So they used that to pack it into a little ball when they were in their room. And they leaned on each other's love for one another and their love for their skill and talents for what it is that they were doing and made something incredible that impacted the world in such a huge way. Energetic vibration. We all got it in us, dude. We all got it in us.
Love it.
All right, Jei'mar, we're not gonna drag this on, man. I mean, this was a pivot, man. We all decided to actually hold some space for where we're at right now. We found a way this week to be able to inspire through the division, man. We found a way to be able to utilize the unity as inspiration. We now also can create with this. We can create with the unity. I mean, it's easy when you look at how the unity and where it could go, but we can also look at the division, man, and be able to see where some of our flaws lie and accept this as we choose to be mindful moving forward. Now we'll be purposeful as we empower with all of our thoughts, Jei'mar. We got to take everything that we see, whether we're right, left, red, blue, up, down, black, white, everything.
Believer, non-believer, come on.
Woo! Everything's part of the happiness soup, dude. So listen, Jei'mar, you were the one today to put us on to unity versus division. So can you wrap it up for me, my friend?
Man, Coach D, I want to tell you, I love you and the tech team, and I'm so grateful for you guys. And I'm absolutely honored to be here every time I get to be in this space with you and just telling the Vested community, love you. But here's the question. What kind of impact player are you being right now? Are you creating that energetic vibration of unity, or are you creating that energetic vibration of division? Are we creating that energetic vibration of unity, or are we creating that energetic vibration of division? So as leaders, Vested community, I want us to be hyper aware as we close out the year of 2020, the year of vision, the year of clarity.
Hey, like us. Let's build this community. Let's grow. Maybe let's grow. Like us on whatever damn thing you like things on. Like us there. And
come back next week. Tell a friend. Tell them you're part of the Vested community. And remember, when you're part of Vested, that means that you're vested in what you believe in your life and that you are on a mission to do what you believe is right. And you're vested and you're all in. And when you're part of Vested community, you want to inspire, you want to create, and you want to empower, and you want to be an impact player of unity in the world. And so that's what Vested is about. Vested is not about Jei'mar. Vested is not about Coach D. Vested is not about the tech team. Vested is about us as people. Unity, oneness, one heart, one spirit, one frequency, one vibration, coming together to be the most badass people that we can be for the people. So here's the question, Vested. Are you vested?